Woke up. Earth became a game zone. A group of unknown beings calling themselves players started a battle for cards. They slaughter freely in the city, just to find a rare card. Until today, that rare card ended up with me, a human. People say this kind of card can give you superpowers. Out of curiosity, I pointed a knife at a dying Yizhong lying on the ground. I stepped down. Weird blue and purple slime oozed out. I pressed harder. Crack. The monster jerked suddenly, then went limp. No signs of life at all. Right after, I saw a card slowly rise from its bloody mess, blood red and a little see-through, quietly floating in midair like it weighed nothing. An eye was clearly drawn on its face. I've read lots of posts online about these cards, so I was a little confused. Aren't these cards supposed to be silver? Why is this one red? I reached out to touch it. The red card melted in an instant, slipping into my pores through my fingertip, and it was gone. At the same time, clear words popped up in my head. Congratulations, you got card recognition. You are the source of life, mother of the world, with a strong body and endless strength. As long as you have a breath left, you're nearly impossible to kill. The card's name just showed up as gibberish. I thought it was weird. Then suddenly the text tightened up. Big red letters took over my mind, filling my brain with warnings. The error alert was ringing in my head. Then the text changed again. Warning, you are not a player. Card gene position has changed. Then a sharp pain hit my head, and every cell in my body started to change like crazy. I couldn't react in time. I gritted my teeth, barely holding onto the table. In just over 10 seconds, my whole body was covered in sweat. Next, my muscles and bones felt like they shattered. I couldn't take it and collapsed to the floor. Cold sweat poured off me. Everything spun around me. It hurt so bad I could barely breathe. Even my heartbeat stung. No idea how long it lasted. Finally, the pain went away. I opened my eyes, a little dazed, looking at my hands. No change at all. Didn't feel any superpowers either. Everything around me was silent, like nothing happened. At the same time, all the players got a message. Hidden boss. Brood mother juvenile has been born. Danger level, unknown. Players find the brood mother and eliminate it ASAP. Next day I woke up refreshed, feeling better than ever. Guessing my superpower is a strong body and endless energy. That's why I feel so pumped now. But seems like there's a side effect. I'm super hungry. Luckily, I've got steamed buns in the fridge. I opened the fridge, took out the buns, and put them in the microwave. The microwave takes a couple of minutes. I turned and went to wash up. Scrolled today's trending news on my phone. Recently, a murder by Yizhong happened in Times Square. It left 27 dead or injured. Yizhong have human-like intelligence. They call themselves players, using human bodies as hosts. They call this process landing. After landing in a human body, Yizhong usually pretend to be normal people. Everyone, please stay alert. If you see anyone acting suspicious, call the Yizhong hotline right away. A valid tip gets you $10,000. Killing a Yizhong gets you $1 million. I stopped brushing my teeth in shock. Toothbrush in mouth. I grabbed my phone. I didn't hear it wrong. The government issued a wanted list. Just kill a Yizhong and you get $1 million. The one I killed last night is actually on the list. And the rewards? Stack up, maxing out at 8 million. I glanced at the toilet in the bathroom. If only that news had come a few hours sooner. Last night, I wouldn't have flushed that dead Yizhong down the drain. That's $1 million, man. Never mind, life moves on. I've always had a good attitude. After washing up, I grabbed my hot buns from the microwave, threw on a jacket, and headed out. Rush hour subway was packed. Not a single empty seat. I leaned against the window, ate all 6 buns on the way. The full feeling lasted about 20 minutes. Now I'm hungry again. What kind of superpower is this? The system said card genes changed in an unknown way. Does it mean I'm just really hungry now? My mind started wandering.
Guess I
need to keep candy or granola bars with me from now on, or I might starve somewhere with no food. Pass out from hunger for real. Next stop, Tianshui Park. I looked up at the announcement display. Out the corner of my eye, at the car connection behind me, a man was staring right at me. We made eye contact. He smirked with a creepy grin. I felt annoyed. Who's this psycho? He started moving toward me, trying to push through the crowd. Something felt off. The train reached Tianshui Park. People rushed out the doors. I quickly followed the crowd and got off. A wave of anxiety hit me. The guy looked just like a normal office worker. But my gut told me to get away. Is he a Yizhong? I kept walking forward, while checking behind me. Suddenly, someone screamed. I didn't look back, just ran. Crowds panicked and fled. Danger was closing in fast. My heart pounded, blood rushing through my veins. My senses were sharper than ever. In a split second, I jumped forward hard, landed and rolled. A blade like a scythe smashed into the floor, almost cutting my heel off. I looked back and saw that well-dressed man from before, his body growing bigger now, both arms becoming scythe-like blades. His murderous intent wasn't even hidden, eyes flashing with wild excitement. I got up and ran, this mutant popping up through the subway station into chaos. Everyone rushed to the exit. The passage was jammed in half a minute, packed with terrified people. More passengers kept pouring in. Pretty soon, I was stuck in the crowd. The next second, the Yizhong leapt high behind me and slammed down, landing right in front of me. My breathing is steady. It's so fast. The scythe rises and swings down. I watch helplessly. The person ahead gets their head separated from their body. One charges straight at me. I turn and try to run. Just then, guards rush in from the side. They raise their guns and fire. Gunshots thunder through the subway station. The monster's body bursts into a spray of blood, but bullets barely affect it. Even hitting its heart can't kill it instantly. It only fuels its rage. Its face turns even fiercer. Then it charges at the guards like a mad beast. The scythe swings again and again. I hide behind a pillar. My nerves are tight. My mind races. What should I do? What now? I think fast. I spot a bright red fire extinguisher box nearby, while the monster is distracted by the guards. I dash over, grab the extinguisher, quickly pull the safety pin, then rush toward the creature. Press the lever. White foam bursts out like a blizzard. Lots of liquid CO2. Turns the monster into a snowman in seconds. It's not lethal, but it messes with its vision. So even if it's fast, it's just a headless fly. Of course it won't just stand still.
It roars angrily as I spray.
It attacks toward me. The scythe is way too fast. I can't dodge in time. I raise the extinguisher to block. Its bone blade clashes with the extinguisher. The metal shell gets split open. The scythe slashes at the new crack. I turn sideways to avoid it. The monster's eyes are covered by foam. Yet it still senses direction perfectly. Its blade grazes my shoulder. I get up and run for the exit. No hesitation. I sprint out of the subway station. The bustling street turns chaotic. Drivers and pedestrians scramble in panic. I see a fallen motorcycle. Pick it up and hop on. Blood pours from my wound down my arm. I'm burning with anger. I could die. In the rear view, I see the monster chasing from the station. I grit my teeth, stare at the creature in the mirror. So you're fast, huh? Let's see if you can keep up. I suddenly turn the bike around, speed through the green area, head toward the park square. The creature chases after me. Its lower half grows 2 rows of bug legs. It hisses angrily at me. Death is right on my heels, but I'm unusually calm. I gun the motorcycle to max speed, rush into the park, race along the riverside trail. A big patch of reeds comes into view. The river sparkles in the sunlight. I park by a riverside utility house. No one's inside. It's full of garden tools and tents, umbrellas left by tourists. I pick up a heavy axe from inside. Spotted a kite leaning against the wall at first. A cold smile forms on my face. I bend down and grab the kite. Leave the utility house. Run fast toward the riverbank. My motorcycle was fast enough. The monster dropped some distance behind. But I know it will catch up again. I climb over the waist-high barrier, slide quickly down to the riverbank, tie the kite string between 2 trees, kick off my shoes, step barefoot into dense reeds, grip the axe handle tight.
Gaze coldly.
It's coming from afar. The monster appears on the riverbank, even faster than I expected. Its upper body barely looks human. The lower half is pure bug. 6 legs crawl rapidly. It rushes straight at me in the reeds, almost like it has X-ray vision. If my spot gets exposed, the ambush means nothing. But I smirk. My smile grows. Come on, go even faster. Right as the monster charges, I turn and head toward deeper water. Leap into the river, half my body submerged. At the same time, the monster's speed peaks behind me. I swing the scythe in the water. The scythe slices through the air. I just sank below the surface. A piercing roar screams across the sky. I surface. See the monster sliced in half by the kite string. It twitches and howls. I feel a rush of glee. Walk over with the axe, looking down at its dying struggle. Then blankly raise the axe. The blade smashes its spine.
Its body jerks tight.
Then loses all life. 2 silver cards slowly rise up. I'm about to check the card designs. Suddenly hunger floods through me again. My hand moves on its own.
Touching the cards absorbs them.
You got the Killer Bee card. You got the Mantis card. Killer Bee. After marking any life form with pheromones, it can be tracked. The closer the target, the faster the tracking. Up to 10 times faster. Mantis can shapeshift quickly. Arms turn into sharp bone blades. Speed and power get boosted. But the card holder loses sanity. Towards transformation, the card info shows up in my mind. Now I get it. The foam didn't work. Because I'd already been marked. The mark stays. So it can find me even blind. Now I have these 2 cards. Does that mean I can use their abilities in the future? Right as the thought pops up, the words in my mind change. Killer Bee card digested. Mantis card digested. Deck gained 3 growth points. You can now tag any life form. Tag lasts for 12 hours. Please name your new skill. New arms grow from within me. Can turn into sharp bone blades fast. Please name your new skill. I'm stunned for a second. Why are my cards digested? Why do I need to name the skill? No one online mentions this. Please name your new skill. Skill unlocks after naming. The words in my mind remind me again. I think for a bit. A mischievous smile creeps up. Since they call me Mother of the World, I'll name the skill Mother's Longing. As for the bone blades, call them Mother's Discipline. New skill named successfully. I can't help but laugh. A few minutes later, police sirens sound beside the riverbank, and the drone buzzing. I looked up, mumbled, guess I can get my reward now. Right after, I was sent to the Qingxi City Anomaly Security Bureau. The 11th floor had full medical facilities. I was put in a special room for treatment. The doctor stitched up my wounds. The nurse gave me a blood transfusion. A caretaker brought me juice and snacks. It didn't feel like a hospital. It felt more like a fancy hotel. A man in uniform walked in, looked about 30, wore thin-rimmed glasses. Very clean-cut, polite-looking. He asked the doctor if it was serious. The doctor sounded excited. An average person with this kind of injury would need at least half a month to recover.
But his
cells heal super fast. He'll probably be out in just a few days. The man smiled a little. He looked at me and said, "Nice to meet you. My name's Su Yuking. I'm an investigator with the Anomaly Security Bureau. We're part of the National Security Department. I need your help for an investigation now. No need to be nervous. This is just normal procedure." I looked at him, a little curious. There are plenty of online threads about investigators. People say every investigator has a special power. Depending on their abilities, they're teamed up into small squads. Each squad takes care of anomalies in their area. This was my first time in real life seeing an investigator. No idea what his power was. Su Yuking saw I wasn't talking. His voice got even gentler. "If you're not feeling well, I can come back tomorrow. But we do hope you can help us soon. We need to file a report on this incident. The news department is pretty anxious." What do I have to do? I'll just ask you a few basic questions. Be honest, that's it. I nodded, signaling he could start. The medical staff happened to finish up. They left one by one. Just me and Su Yuking left in the room. Su Yuking said, "We checked the subway surveillance. That anomaly targeted you specifically. Do you know why it went after you?" I guessed it was about the card I found before, but just said, maybe I just looked like an easy target. The main cause of death for the anomaly was the kite string. Was the string on its body put there by someone? I nodded. I did it. He'd already guessed that. But hearing me say it myself, Yuking was still a bit shocked. In that kind of emergency, to pull off a trap and take down an anomaly. Pretty impressive, he went on after it died. Did you see anything like a card? From the street surveillance we checked, that anomaly should have had at least 2 cards. I'm not sure. Don't know if the drones caught it on video. But if I don't tell the truth, it's hard to explain where the cards went. Maybe he sensed my concern. Su Yuking lowered his voice, sounding more sincere. You can trust me. I thought for a second, sighed a murder hornet card, and a Mentis card. Su Yuking got the answer he wanted. He took a quiet breath. It's honestly a miracle you're alive. Right now, on behalf of the Anomaly Security Bureau, I'm formally inviting you. Would you like to join the Bureau and help take down anomalies to protect the world's order? I raised my eyebrows in surprise. I thought there'd be a test or something. 2 cards are enough to pass the interview. Of course, once you're in, you'll get training and testing. It's to help you get stronger. Su Yuking said with a smile. Now, do you have any questions for me? I nodded and asked, so when do I get my reward? Su Yuking paused for a second. Took him a few moments to react. You can claim your reward anytime. Right now, the standard bounty for killing an anomaly is 1 million. If this particular anomaly was on the local government's wanted list, there's extra bounty for that. He thought for a moment. Ask me, what's your e-banking account number? I answered right away. Ju Yuking picked up his phone. I'll submit your application now. The money will hit your account in 3 to 7 business days. He looked at me, a slight smile in his eyes. I thought you'd ask about anomalies. I've checked the online anomaly forums, chat groups, and the anomaly forums site. I thought and said, there's a guy on the forum who gathers all the latest info everyone posts every day and shares it on the forum. Makes it easy for everyone to search. Even has some inside info from the Bureau. Su Yuking nodded in understanding. He knew about that forum. Lots of people interested in anomalies hang out there. He goes there a lot himself. But I do have one question. Nobody on the forum could answer it. Can you guys actually tell anomalies from regular people? Su Yuking's face tensed a bit. Sorry, we can't. So can anomalies tell regular humans from those with cards? They can, Su Yuking answered seriously. We still don't know how anomalies infiltrate human bodies. The research team tried to make a detector, but sadly it hasn't worked yet. Right now, except for a few with detection abilities, we have no other reliable way to tell humans from anomalies. But anomalies can easily find card holders among crowds. Most of the time, they won't fight an investigator head-on. After all, they have to act like humans in society. Getting exposed would be a huge problem. Unless the investigator's card is super tempting, they might risk it just to steal it. I thought about it, didn't say anything. I needed to weigh the risks, whether I should join the Bureau or not. Su Yuking looked at me seriously. Anyone who has a card, doesn't matter if they're in the Bureau or not, they're in danger. Hope you think it over. After thinking it through, I finally decided. I said no, I don't like being a target. Su Yuking looked a bit puzzled. No rush to decide. You can take more time. It's getting late. I'll check on you tomorrow. Su Yuking left the room. He still had a few meetings today. On his way to the elevator, he saw a nurse and a stranger. The nurse said, Captain Su, Lin Feng's mom is here to see him. Right then, his phone rang. Su Yuking answers the call. She gives the woman a slight nod. It's a colleague from HR calling. Captain Su, are you done over there? Su Yuking steps into the elevator and says, he's pretty young, very alert. He probably doesn't trust us. He turned down the inspectorate's offer and said no to HR too. Why would he refuse? We're all worried. Captain Su, maybe we should send someone to talk to him again. Or maybe talk to his parents. There are only you and Joe left as inspectors in our city. Those creatures are popping up more and more. If we don't recruit new members, things are gonna get out of hand. The family angle might actually work. Su Yuking thinks of the strange woman she saw earlier. She senses something's wrong. She pulls up my file on her phone. Her face goes pale. Damn. Su Yuking frantically presses the elevator open button. He doesn't have parents. He's an orphan. The elevator stops at the 10th floor. Su Yuking doesn't wait and takes the stairs. She runs up directly through the stairwell. There's a loud bang from the 11th floor. Then a nurse screams. Alarms go off throughout the whole building. Su Yuking panics. She rushes to the 11th floor. and sees that same woman by the ward door. There's dark red slime all over the floor. Countless thin, blood-red tentacles stretch out from the sticky mess and wrap around me. The sight makes Su Yuking's scalp tingle. She draws her pistol and opens fire. Even if she can't kill it, at least buy time for the guards. Bang bang, the woman takes 2 hits. She instantly uses her tentacles to drag me in front as a shield and sends some tentacles rushing towards Su Yuking. The bloody mess under her feet spreads quickly towards Su Yuking. Su Yuking quickly backs up. She glances at me again. Most of my body is wrapped up in tentacles. Those things keep draining my blood. I'm tightly shut-eyed from blood loss. My face almost completely drained of color. Su Yuking feels hopeless. That's it. She can't save me. Just then, a group of guards finally arrives. Countless guns fire hard at the woman. The hallway is filled with gunfire. The woman quickly retreats into the ward. She grabs me to block the doorway. Uses the same trick again. Makes me her shield. The shooting stops abruptly. Inside, the woman looks impatient. She wants to deal with me and leave fast. But her power can't kill me instantly. She can only weaken me by draining blood. But by now, this boss must be about to run out of air. She frowns and looks at me, and suddenly freezes. At some point, I open my eyes. I'm now staring coldly at her. The woman's heart skips a beat. Why am I still alive? She feels uneasy, then notices on my tied-up arms. A third arm has grown out. It's thin and bony, and turns into a blade. Then it swings at her like a death scythe. The tearing pain makes the woman scream. A third of her body is slashed off. I break free, controlling my new bone blade arm, and ready to attack again. But before I move, the rest of her suddenly melts and merges into the bloody goo at her feet, then shoots toward the door. More gunfire outside. The whole floor smells strongly of blood. I wait till the shooting stops and walk out of the ward. Su Yuking bends down, checks the floor, then shakes his head at me. She got away. I lean against the door, holding my wound. My pale lips curve up, showing a mocking smile. My eyes are cold and dark. I already saw this coming at the inspectorate. It's like a slap in Su Yuking's face. Can't even keep me safe. How does she expect me to join the inspectorate? In the ward, the doctor nervously treats my wounds again. Su Yuking stands and asks anxiously, "How is he? Is it poison?" The tests aren't back yet, but judging from experience, it's probably a neurotoxin. The doctor hesitates. Maybe because it was brief. It didn't affect your body too much. I listen quietly to them talking. I'd always thought that bugged out card just made me stronger. But now, not only is my resistance and healing better, my body seems to be immune to some toxins. If not for this ability, I would have been drained to death. Su Yuking has no idea I have backup powers. She hears the doctor's words and just feels scared. The enemy can get away easily. That's why they're bold enough to hit the inspectorate. She looks at me, her tone full of guilt. I've beefed up security on this floor, but I think the info about you having only 2 cards is out. The enemy might come back. I've lost too much blood and feel cold all over. My mind's also fuzzy. I need rest. Gotta get my strength back fast. Otherwise, as a target, how can I survive wave after wave of attacks? The nurse hangs up the blood bag and mutters softly. If only Sister The was here. Everything goes silent in the ward. Everyone falls quiet. I'm curious. Who's Sister Thee? Before I can ask, Ju Yuking explains. We used to have a great inspector here. The Zheng. She got transferred for excellent work. She works at Yunhai's branch now. Because Yunhai is a finance hub. Our city, Qingzheng, isn't that important. The nurse can't help but complain. Anyone decent gets transferred out. Recruiting new people. Can't keep up with HQ moving staff. The doctor clears his throat. The nurse shuts up and says no more. Ju Yuking gives a wry smile. There's nothing we can do. The inspectorate was set up less than half a year ago. It takes time to grow and train people. And those creatures keep increasing. With limited manpower, they can only protect the key cities first. He doesn't want to talk about it. And sighs. Gets up and tells me to rest well. We'll investigate the attacker ASAP. I'll let you know as soon as we find out. I nod back, watching him and the staff walk out. I close my eyes, exhausted, and start doubting myself. Did they get some kind of super rare card? Otherwise, why keep seeing these mutants popping up? They're risking exposure just to kill me. The card's name is just gibberish. I can't tell what it does from its name. All I can sense is it's making them strong. And they heal super fast. Plus, they're immune to viruses, compared to ones that can turn invisible or spit poison. Or those with crazy powers to slash wildly. Is there anything special about this card? It's pretty confusing. If I hadn't digested the killer bee and mantis, I'd probably be dead by now. I slowly opened my eyes. Just now, I used the mantis powers, and also marked that woman with the killer bee's ability. Mother's longing. I murmured the new skill's name with a smirk. Activating the mark. A faint red mist appears, getting thicker in front of my eyes. Thin and winding, stretching out past the hospital room door. Looks like a ribbon. Shows exactly where the marked person has moved. I smirk. I see you now. I sit quietly, leaning back on the hospital bed. When I actually use the mark, I found out that after I digested the killer bee, the ability has changed. Like right now, I don't need to move, but I can follow the ribbon-like mist with my eyes. Leaving the hospital room, passing through the hall and break room, and hitting the street outside. Everything else looks dull and gray. Only the red mist in front of me is bold and bright. It keeps drawing me forward. I follow the mist to the row of villas, go into one of the houses. In the living room downstairs, the woman is half climbing out of a pool of blood. Her gunshot wounds are way too serious. So as her body tries to heal, fist-sized holes keep showing up on her. She's in pure agony. Her crimson lips keep opening and closing. I can't hear her, but I bet she's cursing me. She struggles in her own blood for a long time. And finally, her body repairs itself. She climbs out of the blood completely. Her skin is smooth and pink all over. You can't see a single wound anymore. I watch the whole thing. I can't help but be amazed. This mutant really does have what it takes to storm the bureau alone, with a healing factor like that blood bug. Unless you blast her apart with a rocket, no matter how bad the wounds are, the blood bug will just heal it up. How are you supposed to kill that thing? I'm still trying to figure it out. After the woman fixed her body, she grabbed the blanket from the couch and wrapped herself up. Then she laid down to rest. I looked away. Those faint reddish mists still lingered. The marker lasts for 12 hours. As long as it's within that time, I can track her location anytime. I heard footsteps at the hospital room. A nurse came in and swapped in a new bag of blood for me. Her eyes looked red. Maybe she just got scolded. But she still stayed professional with me. You lost way too much blood. You'll need 2 more bags after this one. I asked how much my medical bill would be. The nurse looked surprised. I'm not really sure about that. We only treat people from the Bureau of Supervision here. She thought I was worried about expensive bills. So she reassured me. No matter if you're part of the Bureau or not, before you fully recover, the Bureau will cover your medical expenses. Your treatment won't be delayed. I glanced at the fresh bag of blood. How is the blood stored? The nurse hesitated, then answered. We keep it at around 4 degrees Celsius. In fridges just for the blood bank. Is something wrong? I smiled. Nope, nothing. Just curious. The nurse looked puzzled, but didn't ask more. She left the room still a bit dazed. I closed my eyes and tried to rest. I could tell, as my blood got replenished, my body was recovering fast. Maybe in just 2 hours, I'd be good as new. Blood needs to be stored around 4 degrees Celsius. Not too cold, not too hot. So those bloodworms are probably the same? Too cold, they freeze. Too much heat, they get cooked. I muttered to myself in the hospital room. Night fell. I drove the little rental truck up to a kind of desolate villa complex. I'd brought a lot of good stuff. Gasoline, alcohol, coal, and flour. Even grabbed a few ragged cotton quilts from the junkyard. Their powers. Just use bugs to paralyze the target, then suck their blood. I can ignore the paralyzing poison. I can stop the blood-sucking attacks with my bone blade. The real problem is stopping that woman from escaping. My plan was to seal every door and window with fire. But when I checked with my marking ability, besides the woman, there were 3 more partners inside the villa. 4 supernaturals in total. That's too many unknowns.
And I
Have no idea what the other 3 are capable of. I sat in the truck, my face dark and grim. I almost died in that ambush today. And now I've tracked them back to their lair. But can't even get my revenge. With a cold face, I got out and walked through the wide open iron gate. Well, since I'm here, I might as well check out what these guys can do. 2 rows of dark villas stood ahead. A construction site wasn't far off, with cement, sandbags, and messy building materials piled everywhere. After Xinjiang City was marked as a high-risk zone, a lot of construction sites stopped. Tons of projects are just rotting away. These supernaturals sure know how to pick a spot. They picked the only model home in the complex. The untrimmed plants in the yard had grown wild, thick branches covering the lights on the first floor. In the dark, I climbed over the wall into the backyard. Looking through the big glass window, I saw inside the villa. Besides the woman who ambushed me, there was a fat guy and a skinny guy, plus a little girl wearing a skull mask. The girl looked about 12 or 13, bruised all over, curled up on the floor. The woman was sitting on the couch with a blanket around her shoulders, saying, "You got the wrong person." They questioned her for ages but got nowhere. "It's keeping me from resting. There's no way we got the wrong guy." The fat man sounded irritated. He made a post on the forum anonymously, asked people to form a maze team. We spent half a month coaxing him into meeting us. It can't be a mistake. Then how come he doesn't know where the maze entrance is? The woman asked if he knew. The fat guy kept shouting, "He's just stubborn and won't admit it." Too stubborn.
Enough.
Stop it. The tall, skinny guy frowned at the woman. "What's going on with you today? Where were you this afternoon?" She wrapped the blanket tighter and casually said, "I went to the bureau." "Didn't the news say one got killed in Tianshui Park today?" "The bureau must have taken the card. I just wanted to see if I could grab something extra." "Did you get anything?" The fat guy leaned over to ask. The woman looked down, hiding her emotions. "No, the guards showed up too fast. They spotted me before I could do anything." The fat guy scoffed right away. Even the tall, skinny guy looked disappointed. "Try not to act on your own lately, unless we have intel on a hidden boss. Otherwise, keep focusing on finding the maze." "Got it," the woman answered lazily. The fat guy grumbled. "No point messing with the bureau. Won't even get many points for killing them. Wasting our time. If we find a hidden boss, even just a young one, we'd get at least 3,000 points. None of us have scouting skills. So to find a hidden boss, it's all luck." The skinny guy let out a sigh, got up and said, "I'm heading out for a bit. Gonna do this week's basic missions. You two keep watching him. Get him to talk." I crouched lower in the yard, heard the front door open, and the footsteps faded away. One of them left. That gave me some ideas. There were now just 3 in the house, and the little girl clearly couldn't fight. The woman's power couldn't really hurt me. So only the fat guy's ability was a question mark. I narrowed my eyes and focused more on the fat guy. He grabbed the little girl by the back of her collar, snapping, "Don't think you can get away with not talking. You know something about the maze. Otherwise, why'd you post on the forum?" Teaming up, the girl had been beaten, her voice barely there. "I really don't know. Please, just let me go." The woman yawned, wrapped in her blanket. "We've asked long enough and still have nothing. Might as well just kill her." "I don't need you telling me what to do." The fat guy snapped angrily, turned and lifted the girl, slamming her hard to the ground. The girl screamed in pain, curling up into a ball. Tears streamed out from behind the skull mask, making her look both miserable and ridiculous. "Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me. I don't have enough points to start a new account. Please, I'm begging you." She begged with tears in her eyes. The fat guy stomped toward her. "Most annoying thing in games is running into noobs. If you can't play, then just log off. Don't hold us back from clearing the maze." He grabbed her thin arm and yelled, "Where's the maze entrance?" The girl suddenly screamed. The mouth, nose, and jaw under the mask suddenly lost all color, like she was in intense pain. Hiding in the yard, I couldn't help but move closer. I wanted to see clearly. I didn't get it. Why did just grabbing the girl's arm? 'Cause there's so much pain? A few seconds later, I finally understood. I saw her pale forearm start to give off burning white smoke in the fat guy's grip. Then the little girl fell to the ground, rolling in agony, screaming nonstop. She lost half her arm. I stared at her, eyes dark. Looks like the fat guy's palm. Can secrete a strong corrosive acid. It can even melt bones easily. That's a problem. My bone blade probably can't handle that kind of acid. But he doesn't seem like an agile type, so I still have a good chance. As long as I make my move before the tall, skinny man comes back. I held my breath and kept quiet, looped around the villa and climbed over the wall to get out. Then I slowly drove the little truck to the villa's entrance. Not sure if the villa's soundproofing was too good, or if the girl's screams inside drowned out everything else. But I climbed the wall a few times in a row, and the monsters didn't notice a thing. I piled cotton blankets at the front and back doors of the villa, along with coal and flour, then poured gasoline on top, picked up half a can of gas I left on purpose, and went back to the patio window area, watching the two monsters inside to see how they'd react. The heavy smell of gasoline quickly drew the woman's attention. She stood up frowning, sniffing around. The fat guy was still caught up in interrogation mode.
He gripped the girl's jaw and growled, "Going to talk or not?"
"If you don't, I don't think you need your mouth anymore." The woman frowned and interrupted him. "Do you smell something?" The fat guy snapped. "Don't bother me." The woman looked annoyed. She walked to the window and slid the glass door open. Hiding in the shadows, I caught my chance and tossed the gas can over. At the same time, a third scythe-shaped bone blade shot from my shoulder, slicing the gas can fast as lightning. The woman's pupils shrank. She didn't even have time to scream. Before being soaked in mid-air with gasoline, her eyes filled with terror. Then she turned into a red, sticky blood pool and darted outside the villa. I already had a lighter ready, so I tossed it targeting her. In a flash, the bloodworms were instantly caught in the firestorm, flames spreading fast. Thick smoke billowed up. The fat guy stared feverishly at me as I showed up suddenly, eyes crazed. The hidden boss. He charged at me, excited. His size was seriously unreal. The way he rushed at me felt like a mountain coming down. But just as I thought, he's not quick enough. I dodged effortlessly, swung down my scythe blade. At the same time, I glanced at the woman in the fire. She threshed in the flames, screaming hysterically, then collapsed. Bloodworms burst everywhere, splattering the villa walls, leaving bloody marks all over. Is she dead? With fire and smoke, I couldn't see. I wondered if the woman survived, while dodging the fat guy's wild attacks. Backed up near the flames, my bone blade started attacking without mercy, slashing at the fat guy's neck. The sharp edge cut through skin, and half-clear fat oozed out. I frowned immediately. I was hoping to cut his head off, but clearly his fat blocked my blade from going deep. I was about to attack again, when the fat guy's cheeks puffed up, so big there was no neck left, his head connecting straight to his shoulders. At that moment, his mouth opened insanely wide. The big-headed monster gaped its bloody jaws, standing in front of me, letting out a creepy laugh. Something felt wrong, so I turned to run, but I had barely made 2 steps when my calf got pulled hard. Looking back, it was that monster. He shot a tongue over 10 meters long and stuck it onto my leg. I reacted instantly, chopped at the tongue with my blade. It was cut off immediately, but the monster didn't even flinch. He spat out a second tongue, even faster than the first. It grabbed my wrist, yanking me toward those jaws. I could barely react in time, but swept my bone blade fast and chopped off the tongue. Then I instantly ducked down, moving behind the monster. He froze there. His beady eyes glanced everywhere, but somehow couldn't find me. I took a sharp breath. I locked my gaze on his thick ankle, got close to the floor, and swept my blade hard at it. The giant body lost balance, howling in pain as it fell. I got ready to finish him off, when blisters on his back suddenly jerked violently.
Thick acid started spraying my way.
I dodged to the side, but still got grazed by it. The pain shot through my right arm instantly. This big-headed freak can't stand anymore, so now he's crawling on the floor, spitting out tongues nonstop, acid flying everywhere like a fountain. I circled behind the flames and kicked burning charcoal his way. He screamed with his mouth, but his body didn't burn at all. The coals were extinguished by his acid instead. I ripped down a burning curtain, wrapped it around his head, then stabbed my blade through the curtain, slashing his head and limbs over 20 times. The monster finally stopped moving. I wasn't careless, scanned the inside of the villa. That little girl missing her arm was curled up by the glass door. instantly freezing when our eyes met. The bone blade on my shoulder slowly raised up. No matter how pitiful she was still an alien parasite in a human body. And the fat guy kept calling me the hidden boss. I absolutely can't let her reveal my identity. Just about to make a move, the little girl suddenly spoke with a trembling voice. Warning bells blared in my mind. Jiu blade swung quickly behind me. One nearly invisible tentacle was cut off, but the other 5 had pierced my stomach and left leg. I spat out blood, but felt strangely exhilarated. I stared coldly at the tall, thin man on the wall. He actually turned back midway. I grabbed the transparent tentacles with both hands and pulled. The man's eyes were filled with terror. He spun around and jumped over the wall to escape, and pulled all his tentacles back at once. I gritted my teeth and chased after him, watched him leap into the empty villa across the street. I rushed in right after. This house isn't renovated yet. There's a pool in the backyard half full of rainwater. I'm sure he's hiding in the water. I looked at the cement and sand nearby. I charged over, grabbed some bags of cement and sand and tossed them into the pool. Jiu blade slashed through the air, cut the bags open. The cloudy water grew even thicker. Something's tentacle shot out from the water, unable to take it anymore. It was like an arrow, but I was ready. I jumped behind a tree, saw steam and bubbles rising from the surface. One of those bags must have been lime. A moment later, a half-transparent humanoid crawled painfully out. I slashed diagonally with Jiu blade. In an instant, chopped off its head. The body melted away like water. A silver card floated up. I reached out to touch it. Info popped into my mind. You obtained a card. Ghost jellyfish. When its body touches a lot of water, it turns transparent. It has 6 stinger tentacles. Each is about 10 meters long. They're super sharp and good at hiding. A rush of excitement filled me. 3 mutants down. I pressed on my wound and walked toward the van. There's a first aid kit in the van. The little girl was squatting by the tire, wearing a skull mask. She rolled away looking miserable. I frowned and shouted, I don't want to kill her right now, but I'm not letting her get close either. But the little girl didn't leave. She just stood there shaking. On the side of the road, I took out disinfectant, poured it straight onto the wound. The pain made my muscles tense up. At that moment, a message popped into my mind. Ghost jellyfish has been digested and expelled. You've grown. Pollution wife skill. Mom's whip has been upgraded. You now have 2 arms inside you. They can quickly change into sharp bone. Also, you gained speed and invisibility. The little girl softly said, Have you thought about teaming up with me? I looked up at her. Cold, icy eyes. You're a mutant. I can help you. The little girl took a deep breath. You're a hidden boss. Players will hunt you down. I'm a player. I can tip you off. Spread false info. The player forum. Only we can access it. There's tons of boss info on there. And healing potions from the store. Works in 5 seconds. I can sign a demon pact with you. It's stronger than any legal contract. A flash of light and a prompt popped up. An injured demon invites you to sign a pact. If you protect him, he'll pay you 50 milliliters of healing potion daily. As payment, once the pact is made, neither can break it. Will you accept? I bandaged my wound. Coolly said, I'm not interested in protecting mutants. The little girl's face went pale. Begged, then can I just stay with you? You don't need to protect me. Just let me follow you. I finished wrapping up, raised my brow. You're pretty clever. You agreed. Happiness lit up her eyes. No hurry on the pact. Let me ask you a few things first. You saw the card in the villa, right? Did you get it? The girl shook her head quickly. I looked right at her. You could have taken the card and gotten stronger. Attacked while I was hurt. Card and points would be all yours. Why didn't you? Didn't dare. He started shaking, whispered an explanation. I went quiet for a moment, then said, Get in. Thank you.
He quickly crawled into the back.
I knocked on the van wall. Up front, the van drove out of the villa block. At the gate, I called a special emergency line, reported the fire at the villa, came back to the car, leaned back in my seat to rest, watched the little girl inject medicine on the passenger side, and eat some jelly-like stuff. Her pale face slowly got color back. What's your name? She took off her skull mask, revealed a small fair face. I'm called Wang Fu Miao Miao. I smiled a little. That's a human name, right? Yeah, after we log in, the system turns our language and names into human ones automatically. Huang Fu Miao Miao explained, awkwardly. So what's your card like? What's the demon card do? Demon is a high-level card. It lets me sign demon packs and gives night vision and evil sense. I haven't digested cards yet, so no extra skills. I asked, why were those mutants after you? I posted on the forum, looking for a team to go in the maze, met them and sensed their malice, tried to escape and got caught. He dropped his head. The maze is a game dungeon. Killing monsters inside gives double points. Find the dungeon's idol to clear pollution and lower your pollution value. Now I'm interested. You know where the maze is? Besides the idol. Is there any other way to lower pollution value? I really don't know. Just a single hint about the maze's location. She quickly shook her head, then nervously asked, is your pollution value high? If it's over 20, you risk losing control. At 30, you can't think straight. At 50, you're basically insane. Above 60, you'll probably die suddenly. So what's high? I asked calmly. 20, she answered weakly. To lower pollution. You can only carefully pick sub-cards fitting your main card. The lower the match, the more polluted you get. If you pick wrong, the idol is your only hope. I gave a self-mocking laugh. My main card's just gibberish. I don't even know its features. Open your forum. Gather all info on bosses and cards. Everything. There's tons of data. Collecting it will take a long time. Huang Fu Miao Miao stammered. I glanced out into the night. It's fine, we've got time. Meanwhile, the overseer's building was still lit up. Su Yuking watched the surveillance feed. Face grim. He found out the attacker was called Jai Mai Shing and discovered 3 suspects in total. He asked for reinforcements from above, but was rejected. Captain, has Xinjiang been abandoned? The assistant whispered. No, we've got firepower. We have operatives. As long as the plan is solid, we can wipe out the variants. Su Yuking said in a serious tone. Call Jojo. Tell him to come over. After the call, he turned off the phone. Su Yuking dialed Jojo's private number. An irritated roar came from the other end. Su Yuking, I only slept 2 hours and you woke me up. There are variants in the Western Villa district. We need your support. We found 4 variants. The cursing on the other end suddenly stopped. Moments later, Jojo answered me. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Just hung up the phone. A technician rushed into the office in a panic. Captain Su, there's a suspicious person lingering outside the Villa zone. Could it be the 5th variant? On the computer screen, my van is parked at the Villa entrance. I walked into the guard room. Ju Yuking frowned. He entered the Villa zone 20 minutes ago. Someone seemed to have called 11 from the passenger seat. Is Zha Linfeng still in the hospital? After the assistant called, he gave the nurse a weird look. He said Linfeng left after his second bag of blood and borrowed 2,000 yuan from the nurse. He said his phone fell in the river. Su Yuking was anxious and upset, just about to think. The operator ran in, face pale. Captain Su, a citizen just reported, said he killed 3 variants in the West Villa area. His name is Linfeng. He also asked if blowing up the variants into pulp would affect his reward claim. Su Yuking strode out of the office, instructed to arrange vehicles. I'll go to the scene with the agents. Inform Jojo. Tell him not to come. By the time Du Yuking arrived, the fire department had already put out the blaze. The villa was burned black. I was chatting with the fire chief. When I set the fire, there was only 1 variant inside. Getting rid of a danger for the people. Can't I cut a deal? Do I have to pay full price for a whole villa? I'm not stupid, you know? The inspection bureau will cover the villa damages. Su Yuking walked over. She sounded serious. Linfeng should have called the cops when he encountered variants, not risked his life. I paused, confused. I'll call next time. Su Yuking sighed and walked into the villa to investigate. I followed behind. So why was there no card drop at the entrance? There was no card. It must have logged off. When a variant logs off, it abandons its body. No card is left behind. Then I asked about that wormy-looking woman. She did shout log off. I didn't take the card from the fat one. Will the reward go up? Cards don't affect the reward. Su Yuking paused and said they'll start a contribution point system next week. Killing a variant and turning in cards earns points. 1 point equals 1,000,000. I'll hold this card for you for now. It'll turn into points later. Good, I nodded. Su Yuking called the team over. They used the card storage device to collect cards from the bodies. I asked, curious, what is this thing? It's a card storage device, just made. There's only one in Xinjiang. He looked at me. Where's the other variant? There's still one across the street. I already collected the villa card. No need to take the machine there. Su Yuking pressed her lips together. Having more cards isn't always better. The combo is more important than the count. I yawned, turned to leave. Where are you going? He hurriedly called me back. Logged off variants might come for revenge. The inspection bureau isn't safe anymore. He handed me a key. I got an empty apartment at Shuyuan Road. You go there. Try not to go out for now. I tossed the key in my hand. Thanks. After I drove away in the van, Su Yuking started directing cleanup. Team members checked the area, then reported to the captain. No suspicious persons found. At that moment, a motorcycle roared nearby. Jojo rolled up in a punk leather jacket, smelling like booze. Been drinking again? Drunk driving is dangerous. Su Yuking scolded. Man, I'm a god in Xinjiang. So what if I had a little? Jojo didn't care. Looked around. All the variants are dead. All dead. Su Yuking frowned. Why are you here? You were supposed to rest at home. You said there were 4 variants. How could I not come? Jojo crouched down, sniffed the tire tracks. One escaped in a car. No way, those are Lin Feng's tracks. He just killed 3 variants and left. I smelled variant recovery potion. No doubt about it. Jojo said, gloating. Harboring variants. He might be one too. Lin Feng probably isn't a variant. The smell in the car could just be left over. He's in real danger now. Su Yuking analyzed. Let's go check and we'll see. Where is he? I gave him the key to Shu Yuan Road apartment. Jojo jumped on his bike. I want to see if he's tougher than me. Jojo, don't do anything crazy. Investigate first. Su Yuking shouted to stop him. Xinjiang is under my watch. As long as I'm alive, he's nothing. Jojo threw out those words and sped off on his motorcycle. The team exchanged looks. Captain Su, should we send someone to check? Su Yuking watched the car and said Jojo probably knows what he's doing. He wants to see how this plays out too. Late night on the highway. I was so hungry I felt weak. Searching along the street, I finally found a vending machine. Bought up all the self-heating rice. Then climbed into the van with them. Huangfu Miao Miao curled in the corner, probably still anxious about her decision. When I was heating up some rice, I suddenly asked him if he knew what this was. Huangfu Miao Miao looked a bit confused, hesitated for 2 seconds. Answered, self-heating meal. No, this is a weapon. I pointed to the meal box and said, the heating pack releases a ton of heat. In a very short time, makes the water boil. If you flip the meal box now, and smack it into my face, my eyes will be burned instantly. A bit of boiling water will get in my airway. Blindness and pain would stop me from knowing your location. You could escape the car. I'd chase after you without thinking. You could circle to the front, get in the driver's seat, reverse fast, run me over, kill me, get points and my cards. By the way, do you know how to drive? I don't know how. Huangfu Miao Miao stammered. That's too bad. I looked away and said I'll teach you someday. Driving is a handy skill. After the rice was ready, I started eating by myself, ate 8 boxes in a row, and finally stopped feeling hungry. Suddenly I wondered, maybe that never-ending power from the card hints needs food to work. Thought about it for a bit. I knocked on the car wall. Come home with me to move some stuff. Huangfu Miao Miao peeked out with half his skull mask showing. Looked super surprised. Back home, I got in the driver's seat. He rushed to the passenger seat. Buckled up, asked, is it dangerous? What if an offline player finds backup to get revenge at your place? I gripped a wheel and asked if he could find backup. Why didn't he start with backup and kill me at the bureau? Huangfu Miao Miao paused. He went to kill you at the bureau. But that's not what he said. He said he went there to pick up leftovers. Didn't mention himself once. Ran into a hidden boss. Got it. Huang Fu Miao Miao suddenly understood. He didn't want to split points with others, so he hid the info. I got curious. How many points am I worth? Not sure exactly, but for a boss level, must be at least 3,000 points. I asked. How many points do you earn on missions? 6 points. I got lucky last week. Once had a 10-point mission. Huang Fu Miao Miao looked satisfied. We chatted like this, having no idea that at the gate to Shu Yuan Mansion, Jojo was squatting by a motorbike calling Su Yuking, sounding super angry, almost yelling. It was already late when we reached Shu Yuan Mansion. I went home first, packed up clothes and papers, emptied the food from the fridge. He used the apartment number on the key, found Su Yuking's apartment. It had been empty for a while. Covered in dust, I opened windows to air it out. Found an unused tablet. Had Wang Fu Miao Miao enter all his forum notes into the memo. Even though he was tired, he still agreed and pushed through, planning to finish it overnight. At 5 a.m., I felt about 70% full. After brushing my teeth and showering, went over to him. Asked, done? Pretty much done. Huang Fu Miao Miao answered with dark circles. There's way too much card info, and it changes based on the main card. I'm not sure if there's mistakes. Did my best to organize it. I quickly scanned the tablet. Smiled. Info gap. Can be deadly sometimes. If you messed with the notes on purpose, twisted the facts, made me make the wrong decisions, I might die because of it. No! Huang Fu Miao Miao's eyes went wide, looking really wronged. It's fine. I'm just talking. I grinned. Humans have our own forums. Lots of card info on there. I can cross-check both. If I spot any contradictions, means you're not honest. I'll kill you, but if you fix it now, I'll act like nothing happened. Go compare then. Huang Fu Miao Miao couldn't take being accused, even if there are contradictions. It's definitely your forum, with the bad info. I didn't make stuff up. Really, let me check first. Go shower. Huang Fu Miao Miao stormed off to the bathroom. I fixed typos in the notes, cleaned up formatting, and browsed the alien forum. Suddenly saw a bold post, looking for teammates to fight alien species. Only for card holders. Posted by Super Chow Super. Says discovered tons of injured aliens, hiding in an underground tunnel. Wants to team up, wipe them out, get rewards. Also says his card is gold grass. Can heal people. I checked Wang Fu Miao Miao's notes. Looked up at her just out of the shower. Your info doesn't mention plant-type cards. Is that a mistake? Or did you hide it on purpose? Huang Fu Miao Miao's eyes went wide. Plant cards? There are no plant-type cards. But now what? Someone said their card is gold grass. Can heal fast. I smiled. That's impossible. Huang Fu Miao Miao stood in pain.
He's lying.
Plant genes mixing with human genes causes bad side effects. Right now, only human gene trees exist. But those trees are just like tombstones. Can't talk. Can't think. They're just human-shaped trees. No way, this card exists in the game. Really? I looked at him and smiled. Can't help it. I have to trust my own kind. Saying that, my shoulder grew almost invisible scythe-like bone blades. Hovering above him, Huang Fu Miao Miao went pale. Clenched his fist, yelling it's unfair. Every word I said was true. I didn't lie. You can't kill me. I stayed up all night gathering info for you. Why don't you trust me? He's the one lying. He started crying. I tilted my head looking at him. Smirked. Pretty stubborn. Huang Fu Miao Miao closed his eyes like he'd given up, but felt no pain after a long wait. Opened his eyes, saw me calmly. Browsing the forum. You're not killing me. Why kill you? Just messing with you. I refreshed the page. Got a friend request from Super Chow Super. After accepting, told him, if you're hurt, use potions or log out and swap bodies. No need to crowd in the tunnel. So this Super Chow Super either hides the truth, or is baiting humans. You mean, this Super Chow Super guy is a player. He wants to steal the card. Huang Fu Miao Miao's eyes widen. It's pretty likely. At this moment, Cao Qiang Cheo messaged, what ability does your card have? We're all about teamwork. If your card's ability isn't right, we can't take you with us. Online at 5 a.m. Seems pretty urgent. I replied with a smile. What kind of ability do you need? If it doesn't fit, I won't bother you. Keo's group already has a healer and an attacker. Now we need support. I can do that. My card is a jellyfish. It can grow see-through tentacles. Cheo looked at his phone. He muttered, "Jellyfish? What kind of card is that?" His teammate nearby said nervously, "Ciao, bro." He woke up deep in the cave. A pale face slowly emerged. Rasping, "Not enough. Need more cards."
Cheo forced down his fear.
Gritting his teeth, he said, "I already called people. They're all people with cards." He looked at a corpse by the cave wall, eyes full of greed. Just feed him. And these corpses could mean millions in rewards. Soon I got a DM from Cheo. "I'll add you to the group. Watch for the group notice." He actually agreed. Huangfu Miao was surprised. Totally expected. I put down my tablet. "You're coming with me." "I'm going to." Huangfu Miao panicked. "I didn't sleep all night, and I haven't eaten yet." "Just suck a few jellies, that's enough." Jelly means that stuff you sucked in the car. Huangfu paused, then realized that's a nutrient pack. You need points to buy those. 2 points for a small bag. 2 points? I laughed. "So how many points you got left?" Huangfu Miao pouted. "It's 116. I couldn't help but laugh. "Only 16 points. But you want a contract with me?" "Giving me 50 milliliters of recovery agent for free every day. Don't tell me you'll go broke in 2 days. If I sign the contract, I'll take more missions to earn points." Huangfu Miao argued stubbornly. "There are 2 packs of instant noodles in the kitchen. Make them yourself. I have to go out for a bit." I changed clothes and headed for the door. Huangfu Miao followed me. Fired questions like a machine gun. "Where are you going?" "What are you going to do?" "When will you be back?" "Aren't you going to rest?" "You're not tired?" "You ask too many questions." "One question only." When I was about to go out, he finally got anxious. "What if you run into other players?" "Call the cops." I shut the door. "First, go get some cash." Got a new phone and a second SIM card. Also bought Huangfu Miao some clothes, shoes, socks, and a smartwatch. When I got back, he was already asleep on the sofa, curled up in a small ball, his broken arm showing. Looked especially pitiful. I set the stuff by the sofa, opened my phone and joined Keo's group. 6 people in the group. Someone suggested, "Let's act tonight." I glanced at the sleeping Huangfu Miao. Typed, "That's too rushed. Let's do it at 7 a.m. tomorrow." Cheo replied, "All right, 7 a.m. it is. You guys meet at Jiangku train station first. I'll send the exact location at 6 tomorrow morning." Jiangku is just a 2-hour drive from Qingjiang. I checked the map. Couldn't find any sign of tunnels. Bought emergency lights, ropes, axes, stuff like that online. Then I got a text. 1 million bonus received. I immediately confirmed my order. Huangfu Miao woke up in the evening. He saw the new stuff by him. Curiously asked, "Is this for me?" "Bought you a smartwatch. SIM card's already in. Set to silent mode, so it won't make noise in the tunnel." I dragged over 2 outdoor backpacks. Huangfu Miao opened a backpack. There's food, water, and tools inside. Then the backpack suddenly vanished. "How did you do that?" I asked Huangfu curiously. Miao explained, "That's the player backpack feature. You start with 2 slots. Now I have 4. Each slot holds up to 10 kilogram. After getting ready, I drove to Jiangku City with Huangfu Miao. On the way, I kept asking if he sensed any monsters. He always shook his head. Currently, 97,681 players are online, spread all over the world, no more than 10 per city. So it's normal not to run into any others. He looked at the virtual screen. "You guys are players." "We're monsters." "That's pretty interesting." I tossed him the tablet. "Jot this info down too." Arrived at Jiangku train station late at night. I turned on the high beams. There's a van ahead. Huangfu Miao got a clear look. He blurted out, "People with cards. And at least they've digested once." The folks in the van got out quick. The leader snapped, "Who's shining the light? Damn it. Get over here." "Get out." I got out with an axe. Seeing my weapon, he freaked out. "You brought weapons too. Thinking of robbing us?" "We're with the investigation bureau." "Drop the weapon." I eyed him, suspicious.
Hair all messy.
Graffiti t-shirt and studded leather jacket. Doesn't look like an investigator at all. But as he walked up, he stared. "You're Lin Feng? Why are you in Jiangku for the exam?" The people behind him got out too. All stared at me intensely. He glanced over at the passenger seat. So if you're Lin Feng, that kid in the car must be the escaped monster. Huang Fu Miao Miao turned pale, shrank into the passenger seat, not moving. I glanced at him, calmly said, "Yeah, he's a monster." The guy laughed, raised both hands. I knew you guys were together. Next second, his arms turned into beast claws. One claw lunged for Wang Fu Miao Miao. I whipped out my transparent bone blade, blocked the attack, hiding a monster. And you dare fight back? He got mad and swung his claws at me. I dodged to the side, but the van's side panel got ripped open. Nanan, 1,000. What? 1,000. He raised his beast claw. He growled that hiding a variant is assaulting an inspector. That's enough for 10 years in jail. I spread another see-through bone blade from my shoulder. I swung it at his face. He blocked fast with his beast claw. A sharp metallic sound rang out. I raised my axe.
His face changed.
Damn, you have 4 claws. He hurriedly backed off. He yelled at the others. Are you all dead or what? Come help out. The team looked at each other, unsure. Someone took out their phone. It was a video call from Captain Su. Su Yuking gave orders straight from the video. Give the phone to Lin Feng. Old Su, you believe him, not me. The man shouted angrily. I took the phone. My face relaxed a bit. He broke my car. It was a rental. Deposit was 1,000. It won't get refunded if it's damaged. I also have to pay for repairs. Su Yuking asked, Deputy Joe, why did you break his car? Why'd you break his car? He hit a variant. Jojo replied confidently. Su Yuking asked me, did you hide a variant? I didn't. I was raising it. I waved at Wang Fu Miao Miao to come over. She got out slowly and stood by my side. I told her, call me Dad. Huang Fu Miao Miao looked up, eyes wide.
Dad.
I pointed at Su Yuking on the phone. Now call him Uncle. Hello, Uncle. She nodded quickly. See that? That's my card ability. I said plainly. Jojo was speechless. You really like to make things up. Can you even tell humans and variants apart? I patted Wang Fu Miao Miao's head. Can you tell normal humans from special card holders? Jojo felt stifled. He couldn't get a word out. I turned to Wang Fu Miao Miao. Check this group. Any variant here? Everyone tensed up instantly.
Even Jojo eyed his team carefully.
Huang Fu Miao Miao quickly shook her head. Everyone finally relaxed. She pointed at each one, just regular citizens. When she got to Jojo, she shrank back suddenly. She hid behind me and said, he's elite. That made Jojo even more annoyed. Some tension eased off though. So that's how your kind can tell humans apart. And you figured out I'm elite. No wonder you're so scared. I asked Wang Fu Miao Miao, how many points for killing an elite monster? Huang Fu Miao Miao replied, points vary by difficulty. Usually between 200–500. I nodded with satisfaction. Looking at Jojo, 3,000 points. Jojo was stunned. No way, based on what? Alright, Su Yuking raised his voice on the video. Don't forget your mission in Jiangku. Jojo snapped. Old Su, you're playing favorites too, obviously. He's not even in the Inspector Bureau yet. And you're lifting up the new, ditching the old. Su Yuking didn't respond. Lin Feng, why are you in Jiangku? Someone on the forum needed help killing a variant, so I'm here to check it out. I paused and added, just checking. If there's really a variant, I'll report it. Right then, Jojo's teammate whispered to him. He frowned, looking at me sideways, muttering, it's really him. He pulled out his phone to check. Not sure, he asked. Are you the Do Shaw from the group? I blanked. You're in Super Chow group too. Jojo raised his chin proudly. I'm busy. No time to join groups. I replaced someone who left. Going to check the tunnel now. Su Yuking spoke up, Lin Feng. Our variant lead went cold here in Jiangku. No inspector branch here. Since you ran into Jojo, watch each other's backs.
His card is strong.
I stayed quiet, thinking. I don't like people bossing me around. And I hate messy relationships. Su Yuking continued, variants have to be reported and checked. But your case is special. I can keep it quiet for now, to avoid misunderstandings. That's a clear favor. Fine, I'll try to cooperate. Jojo shared the plan with Lin Feng. Let me know right away when the suspect sends the location. I'll help investigate remotely. Jojo looked mad, but agreed anyway. Video call ended. Jojo put his beast claw away and went to the van. Didn't mention the plan at all. I took Huang Fu Miao Miao back to the train. A team member named Qin Liang came over. He asked shyly, "Can I add you as a friend?" "I'll invite you to the special ops group." I scanned the code and joined. 6 people in the group. Su Yuking is the group owner. Everyone uses their real name. I changed my nickname too. Qin Liang quickly sent a map. This is the rough suspect area. No tunnel entrance found yet. I opened the map. It's a shopping mall floor plan. Huang Fu Miao Miao was confused. Is there a tunnel in a mall? Normally, no. As for not normal. No one sure. A few more Super Chow members arrived late at the station. Jojo stopped everyone from the group for questioning. They all left the group on their own. His team replaced them. Huang Fu Miao Miao eyed them with envy. Might as well leave too. Or we could. I gave her a half smile. She backed away fast. With guts like yours. How'd you even get 16 points? Huang Fu Miao Miao replied quietly. Not every task is dangerous. So what kind do you usually do? Mostly everyday stuff, like going from east to west side of the city, or scaling tall buildings with vehicles. But the points are low. Killing monsters gives the most. I laughed. Killing monsters is just killing people. Huang Fu Miao Miao waved her hands quick. No, most are corrupted creatures. I remember what I read in his profile. Corrupted creatures are failed gene fusions. Card-holding life forms either evolve or get corrupted. Players who randomly kill on the street mostly turn corrupted. They're bloodthirsty and savage, losing all reason, he quietly added. On hunting corrupted creatures, we players and regular people are on the same side. I noticed a change in his tone. What's wrong? Huang Fu Miao Miao stared ahead. System warning. Corrupted creature detected nearby. I instantly sat up. Where? No clue. Quest only shows the area. You gotta search yourself. Any other tips? Read them to me. Huang Fu Miao Miao looked at the virtual map and said, deep inside a pitch-black cave. The monster is starving. You need exceptional judgment and courage to face it. Silence means death is near. Light means victory is close. Defeat fear, get big rewards. Accept the A-level elimination quest. He looks upset. A level elimination quest. That means there's a boss-level mutated entity. How strong is a boss? Huang Fu Miao Miao looks uneasy. I don't know. I've never encountered one. In-game, the targets are ranked as minions, elites, bosses, lords, and abyss types. So bosses are actually really tough. Even the weakest have high-level cards. At least 3 digests completed. I think it over quietly. My card is high-level. I've also completed 3 digests. Maybe I'm about as strong as a boss. You got that mission again? It's definitely not a coincidence. Can only you see this mission? Or can all players see it? Players within the zone can get it. I smirk slightly. So basically, we'll have to deal with mutated entities. And maybe face unexpected attacks. I pull out my phone. Send a message in the group chat. Little Skeleton just got a quest alert. There's an extreme mutated entity nearby. I suspect it's one of those super fast tunnel types. And we don't know its exact position. The mission only gives us a search area. I hand my phone to Huang Fu Miao Miao. Mark the area. Send it to the group. He takes the phone.
He looks complicated.
Probably not happy. I called him Little Empty. The area covers the mall, nearby apartments in the park. After sending the screenshot, Su Yuking replies she helped with evacuating residents. You guys stick to the plan?
6 a.m.
Ko Kyung posts the meeting spot in the group, tells us to go to the shopping mall. But when we arrive, we can't reach him at all. The empty parking lot echoes with a banging sound. Jojo quickly spots the noise coming from the shutter door. He signals his team to be careful. Everyone moves aside and raises their guns. Jojo grabs the shutter, door handle. After a countdown, he yanks the door open. There's a sudden 3 to 4 meter deep vertical pit. At the bottom of the pit, 2 scruffy men holding extra long shovels. That banging sound was from them. You're here. Come on down. One man at the bottom shouts hoarsely. Jojo gives his team a look, staying cool. The team quietly lowers their guns. A female team member purposely raises her voice. Wasn't there supposed to be a tunnel? With a pit this big, how did anyone escape? Jojo plays along. Those two down there seem suspicious. Don't see any injuries either. Feels like a trap. The men below get anxious. There are at least a dozen entities half dead. Come down and finish them for the reward. Zhao Li softens his voice. Well, since we're here already, why not check it out? Jojo adds on. How do we get down a pit this deep? You guys look like you can barely climb out yourselves. And you want to trick us into thinking there's another way out? It's just too complicated. Coming down here is quicker. I walk up to the edge of the pit. Which of you is Ko Kyung? Me, the man lifts his phone. I just posted a photo in the group. Check it and you'll see I'm not lying. Jojo doesn't like that. Now you message us? And didn't even answer your phone earlier. Signal's bad down here. So I check my phone. Sure enough, Ko Kyung posted pictures in the group. Monstrous bodies lying on the ground. Can't tell if they're mutated entities or humans. Just as I want to show Wang Fu Miao Miao, I notice he's shaking all over. What's wrong? Hostility. He shrinks his neck. His voice is shaky. There's a strong sense of hostility. Right under the pit. The men below start urging us again. Are you guys coming down or not? If we wait, the entities might recover. The two of us can't handle it alone. So we waited for you? Jojo knows that's enough acting. He shouts into the pit. Hold on, I'll grab some rope. We'll go down right now. Huang Fu Miao Miao looks at me, eyes pleading. But I stay firm. I've got to keep him in sight. In case he runs. And hope his powers are useful. We all climb down the rope into the pit. See the two guys tired, yellowed faces. Their clothes are filthy. They look odd. I nudge Huang Fu Miao Miao. He shakes his head. They're not entities. I'm Ko Kyung. Just call me Chow. He forces a smile. Nods to the younger man next to him. This is my brother, Fang the... You guys look young. So just call yourselves Zhao Zhao and Zhao the... I reply coldly. Ko Kyung's smile falters. He heads out in front. The entity is up ahead. Follow me, Jojo edges closer to Fang the to chat. What's up with this cave? How'd you find it? Fang the shrugs. We work at the car wash. Found the pit when helping a customer get their car. Got curious and went over. The entrance collapsed. We fell in and couldn't get out. So we tried another exit. Dao joins in. Didn't expect the cave to be so deep. Good thing we have flashlights. While looking, spotted tons of entities. So we posted for help. Waited here for you guys. This story doesn't add up. You fall in a pit and don't call for help. Instead you rush into the dark cave. Just happen to have flashlights? Jojo frowns. Who closed that shutter outside? No idea. Maybe the manager closed it so no one else would fall in. Ko Kyung's answer isn't convincing at all. We walk a little further. I glance at my phone. No signal now. After dozens more meters, there's a gym-sized oval cave up ahead. The rock walls are filled with black holes. Looks like a bug nest. The entities are here. Ko Kyung points. There are tons inside. Jojo investigates. Behind each hole is a classroom-sized den. 4 or 5 strange shapes are lying inside. Even under the flashlight, they don't react. Ko Kyung grins. I told you I wasn't lying. Now I'll kill them. Tie them up and drag them back to the parking lot. Call the Bureau of Control. You'll pocket millions easily. I don't get it. Why bother? Why not just call the Bureau to pick up the bodies? Wouldn't that be easier? Ko Kyung hesitates. One person can't kill that many. Any smart person would see that's off. Drag a few out for the reward first. Come back another day. And even if the Bureau asks, it's not suspicious. My name is Lei Huang Fu Miao Miao. Look, he just peeked in quickly, then yanked me back hard. They're all dead. Every single one is dead. Jojo frowned. They're still moving. How can they be dead? I have no idea. Huang Fu Miao Miao was shaking. I can only identify living things. They're all corpses. Must be the work of the contaminated creatures. Let's get out of here. Xiaozhe sensed something was wrong. Asked suspiciously, what contaminated creatures? Who are you people, really? Jojo ignored him. Threw an exotic creature out the cave. There was a loud thud. The corpse hit the ground hard. Now everyone could see clearly.
It really was a corpse.
Xiaozhe and Fang De looked shocked too. They'd never gotten close before. They just thought those figures were alive. The team instantly drew their guns at the writhing bodies. The corpse's chest bulged out. A fat white worm squirmed from its mouth. Jojo's beast claw pierced the corpse's skull instantly. Then he ripped the body open. Both body and worm shriveled up in a flash. The insides were eaten clean by the worms. Xiaojie looked grim. "You're from the Supervision Bureau, aren't you?" Fang suddenly looked happy. "You're with the Bureau." "Dumbass, they handled one of the monsters. Now we won't get any bonus," Xiaojie cursed. I looked at Wang Fu Miao Miao. "You try too. See if you can get some points." He mustered his courage, raised his hammer, smashed a white worm to death, turned back and grinned at me a little. I helplessly called, "Deputy Captain Jojo, leave a few for little skeleton. Let him get some points." Jojo shot an angry look back. "Everyone working with these monsters has no brain. You'll end up bringing trouble on yourselves." Jojo tossed over 2 more bodies. I played dumb. I'm not teaming up with them. We have a feeder relationship, right? Huang Fu Miao Miao reluctantly said yes. Just then, Dad. Qin Liang suddenly shouted, "There are more bodies in here. They're shaped weirdly. Let me take a look." Jojo walked over. Qin Liang couldn't help but lean in. "Wait, something's under the body." Before he finished, Qin Liang suddenly jumped back. A huge blue-black reptile shot out of the hole and bit off his head limp. Jojo smashed its head in time. Roared, "I told you. Follow my orders. Who told you to act alone?" They all came out. Qin Liang aimed his gun at the entrance. 2 more reptiles crawled out. "Move," Jojo shouted. Everyone retreated to the main cave. The reptiles chased close behind. They charged straight for the lights. Jojo tore apart the lunging reptile. Sounds of worms crawling everywhere. Gave the order, "Fire flares for light. Get ready to shoot." Zhao Li and Cao Hongyi tossed the incendiary grenades. The cave instantly lit up bright as day. Countless centipede-like heads poked out of the holes. "Fire!" Gunshots roared. The bugs got shot in the head one after another. A few big ones made it through, but Jojo tore them apart too. I killed a few myself too. Watching Jojo working hard, I had to admit, he's not likable, but he sure works hard. After the shooting stopped, the team reloaded, but stayed alert. Jojo cursed, "This is so damn gross. How many bugs are there?" I crouched to check the bug's body. The front half looks like a centipede, with sharp jaws and armor. The back half is like a bat. The white ones are babies. The blue-black ones are adults. We gotta wipe them out while they're young, or else they'll be a real pain when they grow up. I noticed Huang Fu Miao Miao looked weird. "Why are you looking at me? Is something on my face?" "No, nothing." He shook his head quickly. "Deputy Captain, now what?" "Too many tunnels. Easy to get lost." Jojo took a black box out of his backpack. Good thing old Sue prepped this cave detector. Jojo fiddled with it a bit. A metal bug-sized drone popped out. It launched and scanned the cave from above. Qin Liang watched the monitor. On screen showed a 3D cave map and data stream. I asked, "It can scan temp, humidity, and life forms. How much does it cost?" Europe sneered. "Supervision Bureau stuff, not for sale. No price tag." I felt a bit let down. Finally saved up $1 million. Planned to buy something cool. "Deputy, we're low on ammo. Should some of us go back for supplies?" Zhao Li asked. "Wait till the mapping finishes. Then go back to the car for supplies. And burn those 2 guys on your way out." Jojo pointed at Xiaojie and Fang Li in the corner. But Xiaojie said creepily, "You can't go back." Jojo ignored him. Asked Fang Li, "Is your buddy okay in the head?" Fang Li lowered his head. Didn't dare speak. Xiaojie grinned. "He's more than you can handle." Jojo smirked. "Tell him to come out and let's see." Xiaojie said nothing. Just looked up at the top of the cave. Jojo looked up too. The ceiling was dim and full of holes. Worm sounds were getting closer. A green-hued human face finally peeked from the biggest hole. Xiaojie excitedly ran over. "I brought you the people you wanted. They all have cards. Let me live and I'll bring you more." With a thud, the face fell down. Xiaojie froze. Huge alligator jaws dropped from the hole and bit his head off. The team fired quickly, but the monster was too fast. It pulled Xiaojie back into the hole. All the bullets hit Chao Jie instead. His headless body landed on the ground. The echo of a voice lingered in the cave. You killed my children. You'll all die. What just happened? Jojo yelled at Fang the, how'd your buddy die? And it can talk? Fang Yi looked scared out of his mind. Jojo got even madder. Kicked him down. Fang Yi curled up in pain. Crying, it was that monster. It can talk like a human. Lin Feng asked Wang Fu Miao Miao. That possible? Wang Fu Miao Miao went pale. I don't know either.
He's a player.
But hasn't seen much of the world. Knows little about contaminated creatures. Read your task for me again. Wang Fu Miao Miao opened a virtual screen. Nervously stammered. Deep in the dark cave. The monster is starving. You need top-notch judgment and guts. Trying is just the prelude to death. Light is the start of victory. Beat your fear, and you'll win great rewards. Accept the A-level extermination mission? Accept, Lin Feng said at once. Wang Fu Miao Miao went blank. Lin Feng noticed his dazed look. Almost wanted to kick him like Jojo did. Quickly accepted. Wang Fu Miao Miao hurriedly pressed confirm. Shouted, I accept the A-level quest. The quest progress bar popped up. Showing 0, Wang Fu Miao Miao was anxious. A-level quests usually need 5 or 6 people. Most of the corpses in the cave are probably players. Can Lin Feng and he handle this? Lin Feng didn't notice what he was thinking. He pulled out 2 transparent bone blades. Raised them high. Eager to fight. The bugs earlier were too easy. This big one should be more interesting. Move, Jojo said aggressively. This is my domain. Everyone, back up. I'm about to go all out. Jojo's shoulders suddenly swelled. Coarse silver-gray fur burst out. His pupils turned gold. Fangs grew out from his mouth. 6 beast ears ripped out from his torso.
He actually turned into a dog.
See that? Jojo grinned proudly. My card. Hellhound. Lin Feng stayed silent, thinking to himself, this doesn't look like a hellhound. The 2 dog heads on his shoulders still had their eyes closed. Looked sleepy, like an underdeveloped werewolf. Lin Feng couldn't help glancing at Wang Fu Miao Miao, complaining in his mind. Even demons can't figure this out. If Hellhound looks like this, I guess it makes sense. Wang Fu Miao Miao instantly read his look. Annoyed, said high-level cards have a lot of room to grow. Exactly, Jojo unusually agreed. This is what he hates most. Lin Feng felt attacked from both sides. Mumbled, show me your upgrades then. Bug crawling sounds came again. Everyone stopped talking. Switched to combat mode. They expected a monster above the cave to show up. But instead, dark green bugs came crawling from all sides. Jojo was super annoyed. He'd rather fight the monster alone. Then clear out. All these crawling bugs. Everyone retreated into the passage. Jojo shouted. Jumped into the bug swarm, killing everywhere. He was stronger and faster than before. In seconds, he tore apart 3 or 4 bugs. Lin Feng guarded the other side, covered teammates as they retreated. Bone blades were slim and flexible. Easily sliced the incoming bugs in half. Crap, the detector. Qin Liang yelled in alarm. A bug was attracted by the light, bared shiny fangs and lunged at the screen. Qin Liang rushed back in a panic, grabbed the detector and hugged it tight. The bug's fangs stabbed his back through the pack, but he kept holding the detector. Move quick. Jojo ran over, grabbed the bug's claws, tore it in half. Qin Liang ran desperately with the detector into the passage. Pretty thoughtful of you, Lin Feng said, impressed. Jojo stared coldly at the remaining bugs. No one gets hurt in my domain. Lin Feng wanted to tease him about being dramatic, but his tone was so serious. It sounded more like a vow, so he lost interest. Soon everyone retreated into the passage, went back the way they came. The path got more rugged. Lin Feng remembered a protruding rock that once hit a teammate's head, but after walking a while, there was no sign of it. He was confused. Fang Li at the front screamed. Zhao Li spoke anxiously. This is the wrong way. There's a pit up ahead. Fang Li and Liao Cao both fell in. Help! Fang Li shouted, terrified. Lin Feng squeezed through. Saw a pit almost 8 meters deep at the end. Fang Li was bleeding from the head. Cao Hongyi was lying down, holding his leg. Looked like a broken bone. Suddenly, Cao Hongyi raised his gun and shot behind Fang De. The bullet hit Chao Jie's forehead. Fang Yi saw that face again, scared out of his mind. A monster with a human face hid in the darkness. People above the pit couldn't see. Saw Fang the shout as Cao Hongyi kept shooting. Everyone hesitated. Should they go down? Lin Feng already jumped down with a flashlight. The light showed a giant beast. His heart raced. He felt excited, finally. As soon as he landed, he stabbed the human face with bone blades, pierced the fake shell. But the monster quickly crawled out of the light, vanished into darkness. Lin Feng swept the flashlight around. Only saw a few dark holes. Then Jojo and the others slid down ropes. Huangfu Miao Miao carefully followed last. Why did you guys come down too? Lin Feng walked over and asked. Qin Liang raised the detector. I used the detector just now. We can get out from down here. Zhao Li added. Also, most of our lights are in Lao Cao's bag. We can't keep moving if we stay up. Jojo frowned and asked, Cao Hongyi, how are you feeling? Can you still walk? Cao Hongyi was sitting on the ground. He shook his head. I can't move, probably a fracture. Jojo frowned even harder. There's no signal in here. We can't call for help. There's still a long way to go. You guys go ahead. Don't worry about me. Cao Hongyi didn't want to drag the team down. I'll find a small spot to hide. The bugs might not find me. Jojo snapped back. You think hiding will keep you safe? That's a contaminant. We don't know for sure. Worst case, they'll bring in heavy weapons. Staying here is basically getting buried alive. Cao Hongyi hung his head. He was full of guilt. Every special ops member puts the mission above their own life. Now he's holding everyone back. It's eating him up more than anyone else. Jojo got it too. She stopped talking after a couple more shouts. Zhao Li quietly took out the first aid kit. He helped treat Cao Hongyi's leg. Lin Feng was feeling down too. The terrain here really favors the contaminant. Even if he shows up again, I might not be able to handle him. Zhao Li spoke up. Vice Captain, lighting is key. Flashlights and headlamps are too bright. They create shadow blinds. And when moving, the light casts a halo. Makes fighting tougher. We're low on glow sticks. We need at least 2 for each big cave. That means we only have enough for 2 fights. After that, we've got to find the exit. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble. Jojo was frustrated. Of course I know all this. But that thing runs too fast. Even if I catch up, I can't see him. Unless he gets lured into the light. Then I could finish him off. Lin Feng started thinking deeply. The contaminant shows up each time after the bugs retreat. Attacking during chaos actually makes more sense. Why go solo? And the first time the swarm appeared, they all went for the lights. At first, I thought it was phototaxis. But now, they're destroying our lighting on purpose. So we end up at a disadvantage. If it wasn't so dark, we wouldn't have chosen the wrong cave. These bugs are getting way too smart. Qin Liang was shocked. They're genetic hybrids. Not surprising they have intelligence. Lin Feng said. Wangfu Miao Miao's tip said, silence comes before death. Light means victory. Light is pretty clear. But what does silence mean? He kills by sound. Fang the chimed in suddenly. Lin Feng was surprised. Didn't think the quiet guy would notice that. Fang Yi got embarrassed after speaking up. He quickly shrank back. Lin Feng turned to the group and kept analyzing. Every clue in the mission tip matters. Silence is the prelude to death. Fits the contaminant's attack style. Every time before it attacks, the swarm either dies or retreats and the cave goes quiet. So our voices stand out more. And after ambushing, it retreats right away. That shows. It's not our match when there's light. As long as we make no sound. He can't attack. The key is protecting the lights. If we have light, we have hope. As for bug numbers, they can't be endless. Otherwise, people would have disappeared all over Jiangku City. Fang the watched quietly as they discussed. Qin Liang leaned over and whispered, You're pretty sharp. I didn't even think of that. Come here, Qin Liang. Jojo cut in. Pull up the detector's map. Qin Liang did so, pulling up a 3D map. When they looked, they realized the underground nest is simpler than they thought. It's 2 man-made parking garages underground, with a deep pit in the middle. Tunnels on both sides are linked. The cave entrances connect inside. It just felt complex, because it's too dark. Once we send out the map, old Sue can send backup from outside. Jojo regained confidence. We came in from the left parking lot. Captain Sue will guard that entrance for sure. But if the bugs escape from the right lot, It could put civilians at risk. Both sides matter. We can't let any bugs get out. But who will deliver the message? Jojo waited and looked at Lin Feng. Can you get the data out? Lin Feng wanted to, but he knew sending the data was more important. If the bugs reached the surface, the aftermath would be a disaster. He thought for a moment and asked why they needed a 10-minute break. Are you guys tired? Jojo snapped. I'm tired, is that a problem? Using card abilities takes a lot of energy. Why are you trying to act tough? Only then did Lin Feng get it. Jojo doesn't stay in hellhound form for long. To save strength.
He turned to Huang Fu Miao Miao. The supplements you drink.
Are they okay for humans? Should be fine. Huang Fu Miao Miao looked surprised. Give him a bag. Lin Feng pointed at Jojo. Huang Fu Miao Miao didn't want to, but used points to get one. Lin Feng tossed it right to Jojo. Jojo hesitated for a moment, then bit it open and drank. The fatigue faded quick, but of course she was wary. If this stuff had side effects, never tried it, so not sure, Lin Feng said calmly, then told Huang Fu Miao Miao, get a healing potion for old cow too. That's expensive. I'll only have 2 points left after this. Huang Fu Miao Miao was about to cry. Tell the bureau to write you an IOU. You'll get points killing bugs. You'll break even quick. Lin Feng said, don't make decisions for others. Jojo got anxious. That supplement counts as 1 bug. You already drank it, so don't try to weasel out. Lin Feng grinned, unfazed. If we mess with the contaminant again, we may hatch more bugs. Huang Fu Miao Miao was helpless, so she handed the healing potion to Cao Hongyi. Jojo said seriously, I'll pay you back with interest someday. While Cao Hongyi took the shot, Lin Feng closed his eyes and used Mom's longing to try tracking the contaminant. It was too dark in the cave. He had to give up after a few meters. It put him in a bad mood. At least Cao Hongyi's leg got a lot better.
He could basically walk again.
Let's stick to the plan. Qin Liang handed the data chip to Lin Feng.
He reminded him carefully, go out this way.
Turn left back to the parking tunnel. I'll make noise to lure the bugs and the contaminant. That'll buy you time. Got it. Lin Feng put the chip away. Jojo handed Fang Li a short knife. Stick with us. We'll cover you as much as we can. If things get bad, you have to protect yourself. I'll try not to be a burden. Fang nervously took the short knife. Lin Feng and Huang Fu Miao Miao left first. Lin Feng walked really fast. Huang Fu Miao Miao followed close beside him. Distant knocking noises deliberately made by Yo echoed. No bugs got in the way. They quickly found the tunnel to the parking lot. Suddenly, a tearing sound came. Lin Feng sharply turned around. He grabbed Huang Fu Miao Miao and threw her forward where he stood before. A bug monster with a human face lunged at them. It's a contaminated creature. Huang Fu Miao Miao screamed in terror. Didn't Zhou try to lure it away? Lin Feng looked cold and grim. He blocked the attack with crossed blades. The flashlight beam shone on the contaminated creature. Its body was a mix of bug and human features. It was huge. Its neck couldn't stretch several meters. The crocodile jaws at the front bit a human head, mimicking speech. I want cards. Lin Feng slashed at the human face. The creature's neck quickly shrank back. His attack missed. The narrow tunnel made it hard to swing his blade. He could only thrust forward. But those thrusts barely hurt the contaminated creature. The tunnel was almost at its end. If they moved back, they'd reach the big pit at the parking lot. That would make things worse. Huang Fu Miao Miao started panicking. He couldn't climb up at all without Lin Feng. The creature's jaws opened again. A human face squeezed out, smiling creepily. Lin Feng suddenly realized something was off. Chao's face should have a gunshot wound, but this face had no scars. Lin Feng gritted his teeth and changed tactics. He aimed at the center of the jaws, but the jaws clamped hard onto his blade. It bit through the blade. Lin Feng cried out in pain, but he refused to let go. Huang Fu Miao Miao raised a hammer to help. Lin Feng glared at her fiercely. Stay back. Lin Feng stabbed his other blade into the jaws. He sacrificed one blade and controlled the other one, cutting with all his strength. The contaminated creature screamed, trying to escape, but Lin Feng held it firm. Its body thrashed wildly in the tunnel. The whole tunnel shook. Lin Feng kept his grip. He slowly sawed through the jaws, neck, chest, and armor. Finally, the creature stopped moving. Lin Feng collapsed to the ground, exhausted. He pulled out the broken blade.
It was covered in cracks and blood.
Long lost its sharpness. I don't have enough points for you to trade medicines. Huangfu Miao Miao said, crying. This isn't the contaminated creature from before. Lin Feng got up, leaning on the rock wall. He spoke calmly. I marked the previous one. This isn't Zhou. Something must have happened on Zhou's side. What do we do now? Huangfu Miao Miao was lost. Get out first, then rescue the others. Lin Feng turned and walked forward. We have to get the chip out first. What about your injury? If another contaminated creature shows up, you won't make it. Lin Feng suddenly stopped. He turned back and stared at Huangfu Miao Miao. Blood at the corner of his mouth looked menacing. Huangfu Miao Miao's heart skipped. She instantly shut up. She didn't know Lin Feng was hungry again. As soon as he let go of the contaminated creature, a strong hunger hit him, just like when he got the killer wasp mantis card. He would never eat a contaminated creature. His gaze subconsciously landed on Huangfu Miao Miao. He was suspicious. Is this a side effect of the card? Or is it because his wounds are so bad? He used up all his energy. Ahead, it suddenly got brighter. The light hurt his eyes. Lin Feng squinted. He heard chaotic voices above, and an evacuation announcement from the loudspeaker. Lin Feng looked up. He saw Su Yuking at the entrance. He quickly took out the chip and tossed it up. There was another parking lot hundreds of meters away. The underground bug nest connected with 2 parking lots. The chip had a map inside. Zhou told you to block the exit. Don't let any bugs come out. I'll handle it. Su Yuking hurriedly asked about Zhou. How's Zhou doing over there? Not good, probably done for. Lin Feng rubbed his eyes. Right then, Zhou struggled to pull his beast claw out of the bugs.
His vision was blurry.
Bug corpses were piled everywhere. The air reeked of gunpowder. His only flashlight lit up just 10 meters ahead. Countless unknown enemies hid in the darkness. He couldn't remember how many contaminated creatures he'd killed. Exhaustion filled his body. Both hands felt too heavy to lift. He mocked himself. That nutrient shot wasn't so great. It only lasted for a bit. Suddenly, a fresh breeze hit. He swung his claw out of instinct, but only scratched the contaminated creature. Bloody plasma on his palm affected him. The wind and exhaustion drained his strength. Is this my limit? Zhou was gasping. He felt unwilling.
He was the only inspector in Qingjing able to fight.
He couldn't fall. Another shadow attacked. He moved just a tad too slow. Crocodile jaws pierced his waist. His body was lifted up. His right arm was bitten by another contaminated creature. He didn't feel any pain. Guess his brain was numb to it. Are they trying to tear me apart? He thought in a daze. What an ugly way to die. Not cool at all. At least his team evacuated. The map data should reach Su Yuking. Hurried footsteps sounded. A force knocked him to the ground. Zhou opened his eyes. Through the blur, he saw familiar figures. Who told you to come back? Zhao Li stabbed the contaminated creature's neck with a short knife and yelled for old Cao. Take Deputy Zhou away. Cao Hongyi rushed over. He carried Zhou, who's half-human shaped. Xing Liang covered them with his last few bullets from afar.
Idiots.
You guys aren't even close to their level. Did you come back to die? Zhou cursed loudly. Even if we die, it's better than you dying. Don't you always claim you're Qingjiang's god? 3 for 1 god. Worth it. Zhao Li stabbed hard with the tip of his knife, but the mutant flung him away. He fell into the darkness. Qin Liang cried out in shock, but he couldn't do anything. Zhou was furious. He struggled and fell off Cao Hongyi's shoulder, but he just couldn't get up. Cao Hongyi picked him up again. He ran straight for the exit. Cao Hongyi yelled, "Damn it! Deputy, 3 lives for 1 priest now." Dao Hongyi's voice was calm. Zhou wanted to curse again, but blood choked him and he couldn't speak. All he felt was endless hatred and regret. If I could have held on just a bit longer, the team wouldn't have to die. He desperately wanted to get stronger, wanted to protect everything here. Suddenly, the cave became as bright as day. The next second, he heard Lin Feng's voice. "Deputy Zhou, you're still alive, huh?" Pretty impressive. Strong light made Zhou's eyes go blurry.
He dizzily stared at the figure in the light. He thought maybe he was hallucinating before dying.
Cao Hongyi suddenly broke down. He shouted, "Lin Feng! Save Zhao Li!" I slid down the slope to the bottom. Hold the light steady. Up above, Huangfu Miao Miao raised the big lamp high. Tried hard to recall. But it's so hot. I can't quite hear you. I landed and turned on the boombox Su Yuking had. Deafening music blasted throughout the pit. This noise messes with the mutants that sense by sound. The strong light lets us see where they are. With the music blasting, I extend my bone blade. Out in the open. These mutants are just lambs to the slaughter. Qin Liang and the others were stunned. Maybe they couldn't tell in this nest who the real monster was. There was a huge mutant lurking in the corner. As I walked up, Huang Fu Miao Miao shouted, "Careful." Right as he spoke, the mutant's chest burst open. A smaller mutant crawled out, but I killed it instantly. I stood in front of the big mutant, thought for a second, but I didn't kill it. Instead, I dragged the dead mutant back into the goo. Then I waved at Huang Fu Miao Miao. "Come down here." He rushed over nervously. I pointed at the helpless mutants and said, "Kill them all." Huang Fu Miao Miao hesitated, gripping his hammer. I teased him on purpose. "You could go even slower. Maybe wait until Deputy Zhou is dead. Then kill the mutants for points. The Bureau doesn't hold grudges. They won't mind." Huang Fu Miao Miao panicked instantly. He hurriedly swung his hammer. "You killed an 11 mutant. You got 200 points." He turned around excited. "I have 200 points now." I stayed calm. Redeem shots and send them over. He quickly traded for 3 recovery shots. Injected 2 doses for Jojo, and 1 for the injured Zhao Li.
He warned, "If the wound's bad."
Recovery will take longer than before. Then he rushed back to hammer more mutants. Points kept popping up. He was having a blast. I just dragged his mutant kills into the goo. Qin Liang and the others watched us work. Their faces were complicated. "Deputy, what should we do next?" Jojo spat. "Head back to report." "You two psychos." The team all glanced at each other, trying not to laugh. They helped him out of the cave. Sure enough, new mutants floated up from the goo. I chopped off their frontal teeth, told Huang Fu Miao Miao, "Keep killing." The point pop-up slowed down. He gasped, saying points are halved now. Mutants now have a tail after their name.
Task progress is still at 0.
Turns out this big mutant is an incubator. Mutants coming out are getting smaller. Points drop to only 10 per kill. Finish killing this one, then take out the big one. He paused, unsure. "Can I do it?" I was watching the time. Impatiently frowned, grabbed his hand and swung it at the big mutant. Maybe this mutant had bred too many times and was too weak. One hit made a huge hole in it. "Don't stop." I let go. He gritted his teeth, kept swinging his hammer nonstop, until suddenly the task hit 100%. "You killed an 11 mutant. You got 850 points." Huang Fu Miao Miao's eyes lit up, but next second he froze at what he saw. Silver cards kept popping out of the mutant's corpse. In the end, there were 17 in total. I was way calmer than him. Smiled while reading. Ant, spider, centipede. There were lots of centipede and ant cards. I figured centipede and mantis abilities were similar, so digesting them shouldn't give much pollution. I picked a centipede card first. You obtained a card. Red Ogre Centipede. You can move freely even in complete darkness, with super speed, and jaws and claws with insane bite force. But card holders easily lose control of their minds and become more monstrous. A moment later, another pop-up Red Ogre Centipede digested. Your deck leveled up. Pollution level 8. New arms grew inside you. They can turn into super strong claws. And your night vision got better. Please name your new skill. A smile crept onto my lips. Pollution only went up by 1. Hunger eased a bit too, since I've got mom's longing now. And mom's lashes. I'll call this one mom's hug.